Enjoy what you see. Flamalama ding dong, viewers! Can I eat you? I mean, can I? I'd really like to dissect someone today, but I don't think that would go well in the court of law. But, yeah, so you're here now. I hope you enjoy what you see.
Okay, fine. It's a very basic question, but it's meant for rhetoric. I don't intend for you to answer that, nor do I want you to answer that, and that is somewhat of my point of being against gender. I don't want to be associated with any confines or any expectations towards having XX chromosomes. Shit, I'm a girl. Yeah, I'm a girl. It shouldn't matter. And for that exact same reason, I feel like approaching this topic. I'd like you guys and everyone in this room to essentially express their whole self, not have any interference in expressing their whole self. And whether or not gender may be a factor in limitation, it shouldn't be a limitation. So first, we're going to reanalyze the definitions. And by reanalyzing the definitions of gender and relations to it, we can pick apart some air, or pick apart how might that be interfering to self-expression. As a result, self-actualization. Though it may not be quick to accomplish, you can be encouraged to start going towards the pursuit of achieving it. And I, for one, have a spoiler right here. You guys are you're already starting it. You're in this classroom right now. That's one step to self-actualization. The pursuit of knowledge and having that knowledge pretty much being a means to learn yourself, better yourself, and become your full potential self. So, and following by that, we will have just a reflection and a moment of silence to think of who you are and who would you like to be, and whether or not this might be a confine. And if it is, hopefully my point sticks to you. So, what is gender? According to Google, the state of being female or male. Typically used reference to social and cultural differences rather than biological ones. So obviously here it's a social difference or a societal difference. So meaning that the society that you're in puts these confines, or not confines, but defined differences. So then again, masculinity. What is masculinity? Possession of qualities traditionally associated with men. Muscled and driven. He's prime example of masculinity. That is an example used. Oddly enough, the usage of this term has gone up in recent years. And it's food for thought right there. We're using more of these confined words. So, and next, the quality of being female, womanliness. That is the definition of femininity. She celebrates her femininity by wearing makeup and high heels. And why is that associated with femininity? Womanliness. I'm a woman. This is associated with being a woman. Well, oddly enough, the majority of the class here in the census thought that actual biological sex was a complete correlation to, not even sex, but sexual orientation was correlated to gender. So not only do you have the confines of how you express yourself, but who you like is associated with your gender too. Which is a little bit questioning, as well as people that usually answered yes on that also had an extreme on whether they considered themselves a 9 or a 10 being feminine. And I mean, if they were a man, they got a 9 or a 10 in masculinity and a 0 towards femininity. If they were a woman, it seemed to be like the average for that. And the correlation to that with the sexuality of the participants, those who, most people that had those extremes in gender expression also had extremes in sexuality. usually complete heterosexuality. So, with those correlations of extremes and correlations to societal expectations, you can see how, especially if this is not innate, how it could be self-limiting. So, The Left Hand of Darkness is a book I'd like to share with you today. Ursula K. Le Guin wrote it in 1969. So, in this book, essentially, the concept is shown that the people within the book have no gender. And the main experimental question for her at the time was, if I eliminated gender, would we still be human? Would they be still human? And her answer, of course, was yes. If you'd like to check out her own words on this, then my next slide says that. But having the societal expectations of gender and the realization that you do not need gender to be human or to be yourself, why have that self-limitation? Why? The answer is don't. So, next, we're going on to self-actualization as a resolve. So the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-actualization. Bell Hooks herself even referencing towards the beginning of this speech, that education is a means of self-actualization and self-understanding and improvement of well-being. She herself in the feminist movement, I can see how we can have some sort of correlation here, because oftentimes, and against the feminist movement actually, men have used the idea of Maslow's hierarchy of needs as a means to not pursue the top self-actualization, because you first need to get the bottom of the needs first. But yes, achieving the top at the bottom, but at the same time we still have the innate desire for morality and self-improvement, and they all have a correlation with one another. So, how do you achieve it? According to Huffington Post, stop measuring yourself against others, learn to accept yourself holistically, understand that you are in control, and don't stop growing. Please don't stop growing. So by understanding yourself, you may achieve self-actualization. That's essentially like their fullest potential being. And if you have these roadblockers such as gender, how can you achieve your full potential being? Vice versa. You can't have either or be together. So, now that I've talked about Maslow's hierarchy, let's just take a moment and relax. So, close your eyes, just think about it for a moment. Has anyone pretty much told you that you weren't tough enough, or you weren't strong enough, or critiqued you based upon a mistake that you've had and put it onto a gender blame? Or has someone derogatory labeled you as a woman towards slurs, slanders, and so on and so forth? Well, let's not focus there. Let's focus on yourself. Just be the best you can be, and towards everyone who may even be at fault for even putting those blames, be the best you can be. Achieve your best potential self. And if that is your main intent, then why would this be perpetuating itself? So imagine a situation in which you can truly just be you. And I'd like that to be the main focus right now. Just imagine being you. What are you behind closed doors? Having people either not care or accept it. So, we've gone along imagining and so on and so forth. But also I went under self-actualization as being a solution to gender, masculinity, and femininity. Hopefully you've taken away a reason to be yourself. a reason not to follow a constraint of gender. So just take a big sigh of relief and just look at the person next to you. I hope you see nothing. And look at the blank slide. Same thing. Blank. Be a blank slate. They should be a blank slate. And that's all for now. Good day.